What's up, guys? ACCardShark back again. Back with a little bit of a different video. Not so much the subject matter, but the way it's going to be put together. So, almost 2 years ago, I filmed my Switch collection. I didn't realize how long ago it was. October of 2023. Obviously, it's changed since then. I've sold some stuff. I've gained some stuff. But I came across the footage on my hard drive, and after my friend Mike, or otherwise known as Switch Addiction, after he started his channel and everything else, he was like, dude, just put it out. Just put it out. Who cares? Just put it together. So I'm taking all the raw footage. I'm going to throw a little bit of editing in just because it really is like nails on a chalkboard to me if I just leave it completely in raw footage. But what you're going to see is pretty much raw footage for the most part. It's literally just to throw this collection video out there. So just a word of disclaimer. This is not my normal output in production. I just feel weird putting something out that I haven't combed through and edited down and everything else. So it's going to be a long one. It's a long video. I hope you guys hang in there and enjoy. And we're going to cut directly to the footage from 2023. What's up, guys? ACCardShark back again, back with another collection video. This time we're going to be going through my Nintendo Switch collection. It's going to be a long one, guys, so just bear with me and hang in there, and we're going to kick it off now. Alright guys, the final segment of this really long video is going to be the collector's editions. Not quite a big box or a steel book or anything like that, but collector's editions comes with a little extra stuff. The first one I have up here is the Cruel King and the Great Hero Storybook Edition. We have Windjammers 2, Limited Run, Special Edition. We have Double Dragon and Kunio-kun Retro Brawler Bundle, Collector's Edition from Limited Run. To the Moon, again, Limited Run, Collector's Edition, Nintendo Switch. Good Pizza, Great Pizza, Limited Edition. 2 Collector's Editions from the Bayonetta series. We have Bayonetta 3, the Trinity Masquerade Edition. And imported from overseas, we have Bayonetta, the Climax Edition. That's Bayonetta 1 and 2. That is not sealed. That was open when I purchased it. Really awesome to have, though. Artwork is beautiful. Next up is Neo Geo Pocket Color Collection Volume 1. Limited Run. Limited Run Dark or Dark U. Complete Edition. Shantae and the 7 Sirens Collector's Edition. Excuse the green screen effect. Ori and the Blind Forest Definitive Edition. Snow Brothers Nick and Tom Special Edition with the 2 plushies, again limited run. We have Thumper Collector's Edition. Story of Seasons Pioneers of Olive Town. Utopia Edition of Beyond a Steel Sky, massive box. Bud Spencer and Terrence Hill Slaps and Beans. Toki Retro Lector Edition. Starlink Battle for Atlas. And last but not least, my favorite collector's edition I have in my collection, that is the Golf Story Collector's Edition from Limited Run. Comes with the trophy and everything else in there. So that's going to wrap it up, guys. That is the long version of my Switch collection. I am starting to piece this out now and sell it. I wanted to make a video and document the collection when it was at its height. If you've stuck with this hour-long video as long as you have, thank you so much, guys. Make sure you hit that subscribe button. Make sure you follow along for other collection videos and everything else, and head over to twitch.tv/ACCardShark to follow along there for some gameplay as well. So that's going to wrap it up for this collection video, guys. Hopefully you guys enjoyed. Till next time, guys, ACCardShark. Take care.